Hello friends, welcome to today's live trading session for best markets, and I hope you are ready with your queries as well. So let's start looking at today's market and let's see what's happening over here. So if you are looking at today's US market, as I have told you yesterday, that until and unless the Fed meeting is on, until and unless it is out of the way, market will be volatile. And as you can see, there is a whole lot of volatility, and you can see it in different sectors. Let's see if there is anything which we have here related to that, or else we will directly go to how the indices are looking right now. So what we have here, so Dow Jones is almost flat, and Nasdaq is on the downside, so 145 points down, and then we have S&P 500, which is down by 23 points. Now what is up specifically is S&P 500 VIX, and it is up by 7%. So this is not looking good, and obviously the VIX is something which has been moving up and down quite a lot, and until and unless it sustains, you will have these kind of moves going forward in the market. So VIX above 30 is not at all a good sign, but 20 is a very high number, and if VIX continues to trade above 20, you will see market go haywire. So we have a very important event, and until and unless that event is out of the way, you can see probably this kind of move. And we have specifically discussed about VIX yesterday as well. So this is one of the thing which you can look at as far as the current market is concerned, right? So the support here is here we are 18.4 on the downside, and currently it is trading at 21.67, and on the upside you have 25.34, right? So this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now let's go and check some of the other things. So here we are, I think, yes. So if you looking at the economic calendar, you can see on 16th of December you have Fed interest rate decision. Now this timing as per IST, so you can probably convert it into US timings. But on 16th we have the very important meeting, and then we will get to know what is their stance and what are their economic projections and what they are looking at. Okay, ONGC. Meanwhile, let me check ONGC, then we will carry on with rest of the things. Now I have specifically said about ONGC, and ONGC today broken down, and this is not a good sign. Okay, I have specifically said about ONGC that if it started trading below 5.29 or 5.3, then there is no point carrying this trade or trend, because the next support we have here, let me show it to you. The next support we have here is 2.73. So below 5.3 we should not look. Below 5.3 we should not actually look at this particular stock. So a breakdown has already happened over here, right? Now let's see. There is a very important thing that I have keep on talking, and that is about the dollar index. And as you can see, this is the weekly chart, and it is firmly holding higher. Now, why it is holding? The question is why it is holding so firmly, and even after the volatility for more than a month, why it is holding like this? And the simple answer is because there is a perception. There is a perception that has created by the central bank that they are on its way to curb the stimulus package, and what they are looking at is and a tightening in the interest rate. So these are the big things that they are saying indeed in the market, and there is a perception that has already built that probably if these things happen, dollar is going to make big moves on the upside. So we can see how dollar is looking. So until and unless, I mean, technically these are two important level, 95.98 and 95.23. So above which, if the stock continues to sustain, we have 99.76 and 100 on the upside. But this is a perception that has been built. So until and unless the event is out of our way, we can't say. And this is going to be something which we must take a note of, right? So if there is a perception that the central bank is building and they are intact with that, more specifically, if they are taking some actions, then you will see a very sharp spike. You will definitely see a sharp spike on Thursday. Else, if there is if the market sense some sort of uncertainty, or if the market thinks that what they have said and what they are doing are completely different, so if there is any uncertainty about their actions and their words, you will see a down move on the dollar index. And so for the next 2 days, we will definitely have some volatile moves on on the overall market. So that's very important thing that we take a note of, right? Now let's go and take the Dow Jones. I don't think the major impact will be on Dow Jones, because Dow Jones consists of old economy stocks, and it is basically, now the economy stocks will move when the economies try to heat up. When there is a heating up in the economy, you will see economy phase stocks or old economy stocks are going to perform well. Or I would say, if they are not performing well, they are not going to go down when compared to high beta stocks. So they are not going to go down quite drastically. So this is also a thing that you need to look at. But right now, what you can observe here is a trend, and it is a trend which is holding right now, but let's see how it's going to move, right? So for the time being, actually I should not talk about this hourly chart. I better look at the minute chart, because that's where you will get the important crux. So this is the minute chart, and you can clearly see that for the last 3 or 4 days, Dow Jones is flat. Okay, although there are some movements on both the sides, but Dow Jones is completely flat. So this is the range we have here on both the sides, right? So this is the range we have. And yesterday there is a false breakdown has also happened. So right now 35,578, and you have 35,500 on the downside, and on the upside you have 35,790 and 35,850. So this is the range that one should look at. Meanwhile, so Meanwhile, now what I was saying is about Dow Jones. Now coming to the Nasdaq. So this is about Nasdaq Composite. Now Nasdaq, as you can see, uh, uh, so let's yeah. So what has happened in Nasdaq is completely different, because what we have seen in Nasdaq is a gap up. Okay, so there was a gap up on 7th of December, but right now the gap has filled, and a gap on the upside is filled by the price movement on the downside. So right now there are two levels that one should look at, two or three very important levels that we have here. So if Nasdaq does not started trading above 15,290, the next move we have here is your next support, which is near 14,950. And if it started trading above 15,300, the next target we have here is 15,400, and then we have the upper end of the range, which is 15,786 or 15,800. So this is the range we have here. Now because it has started trading below 15,287, the next big support we have here is around 14,950. Right, so this is what we have here right now. Now let's go to check out some stocks which are moving in the market, and let's see. Now yesterday I have talked about the stock of Pfizer, so let's see how it is moving today. Now when I talked about Pfizer, it is for the long term, it is not for the short term. I should not do a minute by minute analysis on that, but as you can see, there's a big swing from the lows of 51 towards the high of $55, and the trend is holding. And if you are looking at the overall chart of the Pfizer, so the actual rally has started from October 13th or October 14th, and since then it has already given you a return of 34 to nearly 35% in a matter of 55 days, 55 or 60 days. So this is a very quick move that has indeed happened over here. Now today's star is Galera. Galera has moved by more than 132%. You have to check if there is something Galera Therapeutics. Nowadays there are some acquisitions or mergers that are very much there in almost all the stocks we have in the biotech or pharmaceutical companies. Now why the price has surged, let's see if there is anything we have here. So okay, the investor responded positively to Galera Therapeutics, announcing corrected results from its phase 3 Roman trial for the treatment of RT-induced severe oral mucositis. Okay, so there is an update, or I would say there is an update regarding one of their trials, which will probably turn into a product. So based on that, you can see the kind of move it is showing, 130%. Now these moves are quite common because the stocks are so suppressed, and the kinds of shorts we have in the system. Whenever there are some shorts, and you will see price moving down one news, and that's all. You can see some very big moves, some very big or very sharp moves, but it's all about timing. Okay, it's not only about picking up stocks which have large shorts in their system and started trading in them. Right now what we have here is your next target, which is 5.9. This is not a target, rather consider as a big resistance, because this is where the stock has been trading for the last one and a half year before the breakout. And now because the stock has started trading above 2.61. So consider this as your support or stop loss, and with a target of 5.92 or 5.95 on the upside, until and unless the stock started trading above $6 and more so started sustaining above that, we should not go beyond 5.92 right now. So this is what we have here as far as the trend is concerned, right? Let's go to the next one, which has so this is only one stock which has made such a big move. Apart from that, the next one we have here is hardly moved by 43%. So 43% is not a small move, but this is not as big as you can see in other markets. So 43% move can happen even without any news. But let's just understand that this stock is downtrending. So it's very dangerous when you are looking at a stock which is downtrending and try to catch a move out of it, because if you will get wrong, you have to pay a hefty price for that. Right now, if you try to look at the trend, yes, there is indeed a trend, and the stock is respecting its big support levels, or specifically the trend line. Now the trend line right now is indicating a very sharp move, but whether that move will happen or not is going to be a big question over here. So what we have here is something like this. On the downside, now, first of all, in this kind of chart one should not enter, but you can't stop people doing these kind of things. Anyhow, don't go below 27 cents, as this will be a strict stop loss. Now the first range we have here is in between 88 cents and 96 cents, and the big swing could probably push the stock price in between $2 and $2.3. Now this is just a momentum trade. Do not expect anything else apart from this, right? So this is the thing that you need to look at over here. So let's go and check again how the market is trading right now, or whether now everything is in red. Great. Okay, so previously at least Dow Jones was holding in the green, but at least it was flat, but it is now moving down, and the biggest culprit is definitely the Nasdaq. More so over, you can look at the VIX is rising up. So the market has indeed become volatile, and I have been saying this thing time and time again, that do not, I'll repeat, do not try to hold long positions, or do not try to trade in broader markets until and unless you are very sure about the things that are happening. Or if you want to still be in this market, it's great, because what you can do, you can build some long-term portfolio, but long-term portfolio does not means intraday trading, right? So this is what we have here right now. Today it's very important to see what are the losers we have here. The reason behind that is very simple. Market has become very much volatile, and as you can see, the moves are quite catastrophic, because the first stock, the top losers, has already lost 77% from the high. This is really very bad, because if somebody lost 77% from the high, so what else do you have here? And let me tell you, there is no scope here. First of all, this is not only a trend, but let me tell you one thing very clearly: until and unless you have a proven track record. Because this stock, as you can see, this stock has a very limited data. So 17.5 was your support. Now the stock has already broken down, so there it is in free fall until and unless it takes support or started consolidating. So right now I don't know how many buy and sell orders we have or how many buyers are standing, if there are any buyers. So this is in a free fall, so do take a very serious note of it. Now the second is Cabaletta Bio, and it is down by 66 or 67%. So these are some very serious fall that we are having as far as the charts or trends are concerned, and it has damaged all the trends. It does have some price trend, or it does have at least have some trend, but the important thing is all the trends have broken down, right? All the trends have broken down, and if you can see, there are two very big supports that we are having here right now. So 7.1 and 5.5, but the stock has fallen below this range. So here we are, the range we have here is this one. So it was in between $5 and $7 on downside and $14 and $16.5 on the upside. Now this is a fresh breakdown, and one breakdown can beat you black and blue. This is some serious damage that are happening. Now the third one is Generation Bio. Now it's very important to discuss about stocks, right? It's very important to discuss about the stock like this. It's not only about the gainers but also about the loser, because understand this, there is somebody who is losing. There is definitely somebody who is losing, and it's more a responsibility that if a novice started trading in this kind of trends. So first of all, don't do when you don't have at least 5-10 years worth of price history. More so over if things look fishy and if at least the price is not moving up, there is no point looking in this kind of stock, because the simple reason behind this is people often look for a quick money, right? But that is not the thing which one should look at. Right now, if you are looking at this particular chart of Generation Bio, a breakdown has happened below 19.25, and although it is taking support at 5.62, but do not simply jump in and say that now it has already fallen a lot, now it's the time to enter into it. There is no such indications like that, and if a price has fallen down like this, fundamentals won't change in a particular day, and until and unless things settle, things keeps on looking volatile. Now if you are looking at the volume, so the first one is C change. So there is a big change in the price chart of C change, 15% down, C change international, as you can see. But in the overall context of the chart, if you are looking at the price chart of C change, there is a very big or sharp move that has happened. So even though it is falling today, it does not look severe, because a sharp jump has happened over here, right? Here we are. So a sharp jump has happened over here. Now if you look at the price trend, so stock started moving above from the lows of 69 cents, then it has crossed $1.51. Also it has crossed $1.44. So if it continues to sustain above $1.44, we have couple of levels to look at on the upside. So the range is pretty big over here. So the range we have here will be something like this. So here we are. So beyond $1.44, you have $2.18, but the trend could stretch itself up to $4 and $5 on the upside. So this is what we have here as far as the trend is concerned. let's go and see. I think we don't require this one. Yeah, so things looks quite down as far as the chart or the trend is concerned, and VIX keep on rising. So it started with 7%, then it went up to 9%. Right now it is showing 11.3% worth of up move, or 2.31 in terms of absolute point. Nasdaq is moving down quite sharply, so there is something which is happening now. Dow Jones cracked down by more than 140 points. As you can see right now, we have seen a flat move. So let's go and check the Dow Jones, because here we are. So breakdown has happened. So a breakdown has indeed happened as far as the Dow Jones is concerned. So yeah, a technical breakdown has just happened. So if you are looking at this particular chart of Dow Jones, the next two support we have here, let me show it to you. So the next two support we have here are 35,353 and 35,268. Yes, there is a slight chance that it can sustain at 35,473, which is this red line or the 200-day moving average. But if it does not, then obviously these are your two very important support levels which we have here right now. Right, so this is what we have here as far as the current trend or the range is concerned. So be very much watchful about this trend as of now. So there is a breakdown that is happening, and hopefully we can just you have to be a bit cautious, because the swing is right now quite severe, because it has fallen down quite a lot from the highs, and we can see that we are thinking that it's going to be a slight amount of correction, and then the uptrend will resume. But right now for Nasdaq, as you can see, if you are looking at the chart of Nasdaq, what we have here in terms of support is 197. Beg your pardon, I think I have opened another chart. Yeah, this is the chart of Nasdaq. So if you are looking at the chart of Nasdaq, the next support we have here is 14,948, right? And if it falls down below this level, then be ready for a big movement on the downside. That's also a case over here, because if you are looking at the price chart for Nasdaq, what you can see is something like this, right? So below 14,948 we have 14,800, nearly 800. Let me remove all these levels because correction has already started. So 17,800 and 17,950 is going to be your next range we have here. Let me remove this as well. Now you can see how it's been looking, and probably it has already corrected the upswing. And let me tell you one more thing. If this time Nasdaq won't sustain at or above 14,800, then it will be a problem, right? Aniket, I have just talked about the S&P VIX, and it is not looking good right now. It is up by more than 11% we have here, and it is on its way making big swings, as you can see. Let's go to the daily chart and let's see what it is doing right now. It is actually sustaining. It is actually sustaining the levels, and the thing is, as far as the levels are concerned, so if it continues to trade above 17, right? If you continues to trade above 17, the next target we have here, this is the VIX futures. The next target we have here is 33. It has already tested 31, so I think, yeah, 31. So this is the higher end of the range, but if it started trading in green, which it is right now, so these are your next two big targets that you're gonna look at as far as the trend is concerned, trend or range is concerned. So be very much cautious and specific about the chart or the trend. And as you can see, these falls are quite severe. I mean, 78, 79%. That's a serious correction that is happening over here. So let's see what are trending, and yep. Now AMC Entertainment, let me tell you one thing. Right now, when the trend is not looking good, do not start doing this short squeeze or something like this. Okay, if there is any up move, that's fine, but right now when the market is not looking good, and if you have started trading with your short squeeze theory, I don't know how much it will work. Right now we can simply focus on the trends, and if things looks good, then fine. Otherwise, if it is not holding, let's say for AMC, if the stock is trading above 20.5, then it is fine. Otherwise, if it started falling below this level, then we will problem. So the current range we have here right now is 20.5 on the downside and 33.35 on the upside. That's it. No ifs, no buts. Now the next we have here, as you can see how things are moving, and they are moving pretty quick on both the side. ANC is down, now Apple is down. You have seen how Apple, it was yesterday news, how Apple has become the $3 trillion market cap company and the first in the world, and a big correction. I think I have talked about this chart or this trend yesterday, and I have talked about specific levels as well. And if you are looking at the chart, so a short-term correction, I would say a sharp short-term correction is happening here right now. So if you want to look at something, so these are the stocks, not the stocks which are trading at its lifetime low. So if you are looking at the price chart of Apple in the short term, what we have here is a support or is a probable buying area which is near $165. So this is where you can look into this stock in the short term. But below, this is your stop loss as well, but this is a better buying zone rather than the current price we have here, right? Now let's see if we now this about NEO. Now this has been moving down, and NEO is something which is one of the high beta stocks, but things are not looking good, and geopolitics also comes into the picture. So every geopolitical news can have a sharp rub-up impact on this kind of stocks. It is, let me tell you, it is trading at a very important position, because one step down and a trend breakdown will happen. Right now there are very two important level. The first is 32.18, which the stock has already broken, and the next is 30.75, or let's say $30. So if the stock started trading below $30, it will be in a great danger. For the simple reason here is it will be a trend breakdown, and a trend breakdown can become a very serious if the stock started moving down sharply, because last year this is one of those stocks which has given you enormous gain over the last 1 year or so, and now this is hanging on, near to its very important support level, or I would say the stop loss level. So below $30, it's a big worry as far as your trend or chart is concerned. So right now, what you can see in the market is simply this: market is very volatile. Nasdaq will definitely have big impact when compared to Dow Jones, but Dow Jones looks quite weak right now. Let's see if there is any current news which is in the market. So as you can see, hot inflation data and Fed meeting begins. So until and unless they are out of the way, you can't see moves. And right now, if you are looking at Dow Jones, if you are looking at the index, if you are looking at the currency, if you are looking at the VIX, they are building perceptions. VIX is down by more than 11%, so they are building perception for a negative market. On the contrary, we have dollar index, which is again moving higher. So this is a perception based trade, and if things work out, you can see now a a 4 point move may not be much as far as a stock is concerned, but we are talking about index, and that is related to currency. A $4 move in currency is a very big amount. Let me tell you, do not take a second thought on that, because it's going to move and it will definitely have an impact on the market across the globe. Okay, so things are going to be very much volatile on both the sides. So we have one query over here. So TBLT, could you please Manoj, could you please let me know the full name of these stocks? Because sometimes the ticker, you can find lots of companies with similar name. Meanwhile, I'm searching for all these stocks right now. So TBLT is your first stock. So TBLT. Okay, Tough Build Industries. Now, I'm just discussing the same thing, because if you are try to hold these kind of stocks in the current market, you are you are putting yourself in a great risk, because these are downtrending charts, and if you want to enter in a downtrending chart, more specifically when the market is moving down, then you are putting yourself in a big risk. Now the overall trend is down, so there is no point looking at it, and more specifically if it start trading below 0.35, you will see a much bigger correction on the downside. Next we have here is Infixion. Let's see. So Infixion is going to be your next one. I think it falls in the same category as you can see over here. Now do not pick, I would say one thing: improve your stock selection, dude, because these kind of stock selections are quite dangerous, and do not look into these kind of stocks. A downtrending chart is very dangerous, it's very risky. Okay, so do not look into these kind of stocks, specifically when the market is volatile or falling down. It will definitely put you in a great risk. Okay, so this is not the chart, not the previous one, not this one, which looks good. So you have 64 cents as your immediate support and stop loss of 56 on the downside. And if there is an unfortunate swing, I would say on the upside, it can move up to 98 cents, but this does not looks good. Okay, so two stocks are gone in vain. The third one is Boxlight. So if you are looking at the chart of Boxlight, let's see. Okay, this is holding. This is just holding, I would say. This is just holding. This stock, I do know that this stock has indeed moved quite sharply, and from the lows of 2020, it made a move of more than 1200 or 1300% in a matter of 4 or 5 months. But it has again started trading on the downside. So the next support we have here for Boxlight is 1.15. So this is your big support, but it looks like it is in a mood to go on the another direction. So if it started falling below 1.15, then the next target will push the stock at a much lower level. Now the thing to understand here is, do not, and I would this is not a suggestion, nothing else, but do not, at least this is an humble request to all the people who do not understand market at least and want to trade. If money is so cheap, literally I'm saying, if money is so cheap, if you want to donate, okay, you can directly transfer into my account. If you just want to lose your money, these are not the kind of stocks which one should look for in any market condition. More specifically, if you want to take a bet, if you definitely want to take a bet, so if the market is trending higher, you can look at these particular stocks, you can make some quick bucks out of it. But when the market is down and if the trend are volatile, these are not the stocks which one should look at. These are very risky positions that you are considering for yourself, right? So these are the things that you need to understand over here. Now things are not looking good as of now, and I have been saying this for the last 2 or 3 days, that do not try to look at the broad market. Let the trend sustain. Let the major event be out of your way, and we have to wait just for 2 more days, more specifically one and a half trading sessions. So by Thursday, hopefully, you will get to know all the things. So we need not to wait for long. We have just one more day to look at. So there is one more day of volatility, and you will get to know whether market will go with a big correction, or if market will shrug up all the loose shorts, or all the people who can't sustain in the market, and they'll shrug off all the position and they will start moving higher. So right now you have to be a bit more specific about the things which you have asked for, right? What else we have here? What else we have here right now? If you want to look at the stocks, so Manoj, you have asked me, okay, now I'm telling you, if you want to look at the stock, go to those stocks which are trading at their 52-week high. And I'm not saying all those names which are small cap companies. Choose names who have a good track record, the performance overall in the history for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years are good, and they are the one who can give you a better return in this kind of market. Let's check out the chart of Centene. I don't know whether I'm still unable to remember that name. So is this a chart that I have already looked? Yes. Now, I think I never looked at this stock in the past, and if I do, I am unable to recall, because there are hundreds of stocks which I am going through. but I think it's a fortune day, or I would say it's lucky enough to look at this stock today because a fresh breakout has happened, a long term breakout has happened above $76. So the stock is now broken out after 3 years of underperformance. So last time it was trading at $76 in the year 2018, and now this is 2021 where it has actually made a breakout. So today is the day when I have found another stock for you, and that is moving and that has already made a breakout. Yesterday I talked about Pfizer, which has broken out after a span of 22 years. Today Centene Corp is the one which has indeed broken out after a span of 3 years over here. And if you are looking at the swing, if you are at least looking at this swing, and if it continues to sustain above $76, the next swing will push the stocks in between $160 and $200 in the upcoming weeks and months. So these are the stocks that you need to look at as far as the trend is concerned, right? So this is what you need to look at. So right now, these are the section. Go and check out the stocks which are 52-week high, and there is, I am here to share my experience, and there is nothing called a secret. A open secret is much better than a hidden secret, I would say. So if you want to look at stocks with trend like this. Okay, this is a very simple thing to understand, right? And rest of the things from my part, if you want to learn more, they are not free and they are chargeable. So you can't expect much more free things from me because I'm already giving enough right now. So for any sorts of portfolio construction or reconstruction or chart analyzing stocks, analyzing stock picking up, these kind of things are definitely paid services. If you are interested in these kind of things, you can reach out to me. But simply looking, whenever you want to select stock, this should be an ideal trend. There are levels which you need to identify, obviously, and there are some things, because in background there are lots of research. I'm just talking about the end product, and what you can see on your screen is the end product. And everybody is here for this end product. Okay, so if somebody is saying I know fundamentals, I know this, that, okay, so this is just a waste of time for me, because if everybody is doing their research, if somebody is serious, they are doing their research. But this is what we are here for. Okay, the price is your final destination, and I believe price is supreme, and we have to believe what's there on the screen. But which price to believe is a big question, and for that you require experience. Now these are the trends that you should look for in any market, and more specifically when the market is going down or volatile. So this is what we have here. So be very specific about the trends which you are selecting and about the stocks which you are looking at, right? So be very, very, very specific. And let's check out some stock from the 52-week low, because people don't want to look at these kind of trend. And the thing is, previously when I talked about stock that one should not look at or one should not touch, I'm really getting thrashed by the comments. So those are really bad comments. But the thing is, if you have taken a bad position and if somebody is helping you out, so rather than considering that as a help, if you want to take out your personal grudge because you have lose some money, so until and unless you accept the things which you have done wrong, you can't sustain in the stock market. That's the simple thing we have here. And you can see there are a large number of stock. Those who have lost 78% in a single trading session, and I'm not talking about the entire session. In a start of 2 or 3 hours of trading session, now how he or she feels is a big question. So if they understand these things, obviously the next trend won't hurt you, next trade won't hurt you, right? So there are lots of stocks which are moving down. I think if I go by some trading volumes, so let's check out Grab Holdings. It is down by 12.7%, and volume here is nearly 12 million. So looking at this, so I mean, I don't understand why people are interested in this kind of stocks when there is no trend. There is hardly any price action we have here, and if you know, it's not about whether you know something or not, whether you know about the market, fundamental, technical. Let's say you are a person who has just entered to the market, and you, at least you have some base to work on, right? And if there is nothing, you cannot throw a dart in the air and expecting something miraculous will happen out of it. Now, in this particular case, there is hardly any price information we have here. Only 1 year of price information. It's not only a year; it's couple of months of price information, where the stock has been trading in between $9 or $10 on the downside and $15 or $17 on the upside, and there's a big crack. Now you can't expect something extraordinary to happen, and there is no way even an experienced guy or experienced person can judge anything out of it. That's why it's better to look at trend who are there, or those stocks who are there in the market for the last 10 years at least. That will give you a much better idea about the trend and about the price action they are going through, right? So the mantra for today's session is wait for the event to pass by, wait for the big event, and you will get probably a better idea about how market is going to perform. More specifically, to not enter into those stocks which are now, previously I have said entered, look into those stocks. Now vice versa, do not look into those stocks whose trend looks like this or goes like this. This is the simplest way to understand things. If you are unable to understand, we are here for help you. We are here to help you, but those are paid. Those are not at all for free, right? So if you have anything, or if you have any stock which you think is good for long term, yeah, these are good times. But you should be very sure about the stocks which you are looking at. And I have just now, in last couple of minutes, I have explained you how to identify a stock or a trend. Okay, this is a very simple way to do that. And if you at least learn this thing, you can get rid of uh, you know for from losses in almost more than 60-70% of your trades. So this is a very big number, a very big thing that I'm talking here. So right now, what I'm going to do, yeah, I can do EvoFM at last. So this is the last chart. If you have anything, if anybody has anything else, please share your query. I have been asking for it for last couple of, no, this is not the chart. Manoj, I have just said you one thing, and I think you are not listening, buddy. I'm here to solve your Q&A because I'm doing a live session. Okay, but the thing is, if you do not understand things, and if you keep on looking at this kind of stocks, maybe you can get something big out of it. But why are you putting yourself in a risk? That's a big question. I've just explained you how this trend looks like. Right now, don't go below 37 cents. That's the thing I can say here right now. Right? So I am ending this session for today. I will definitely meet you all tomorrow. For the time being, just focus on things those are working. Go for long term. If you still want to go for a momentum stock, uh, there will be very specific stocks which are moving in the market, and not all the stocks which looks uh, dirt cheap are actually dirt cheap, because there is no downside which is which you have already seen. There are things which are yet to be seen on the downside, so be very specific about what you are choosing. So we will see you all tomorrow with our next session. So this is the end of today's session. So thanks for your patience hearing, and thank you again to join this session.